Hi there, my name is Kululwa Mutwa. I am your host on Property Market Moves. Welcome to this segment. Today I'm sitting with Vuso Majija. How are you? I'm good.
Good to see you this year.
Yeah, man. Oh, wow. Geez, it feels like we did not have a holiday. We're back. We took about 3 weeks. How long did you take?
I took about 3 weeks as well.
No,
Maybe
we need
a little
6
bit more.
next year. We need 6 next year.
Yeah, no.
All right. Thank you for joining us.
Cool. No, it's a pleasure to be here. Have I ever told you that ukhululwa ligama lika aunt wam?
Really?
Yes.
No, you haven't.
So ngo nzobana sithi sisikhululwa.
Because you're thinking, oh, auntie, ne?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always fascinating when you meet people. I always think my name is, rare. But I actually find that there's a few people, with the same name.
My aunt and a friend, 3 people who are cool.
Yeah. Okay. So, Vuso. Who is Vuso?
Vuso Majija grew up in the Eastern Cape. But when I was younger, I went to school in Cape Town. I'm in Joburg now. I work in the property industry.
Okay.
I've always been in this industry.
Yeah.
I recently celebrated my 20th year in the industry.
Okay.
Property really is part of my life. So are other things in my life. So I've got work. I've got family. I'm very close with my family, 2 girls, a wife.
Yeah.
I'm quite involved in my church.
Okay.
I'm quite involved. I'm active politically. So I think all of those things make up who Vuso is.
Okay. So you've been in the property for almost 2 decades now. Where did it begin?
Where did it all begin? It's a long story, but I'll try to be short for you.
Yeah.
My journey to the property industry began when I was still living in Mthatha.
Okay.
In the 80s. There was a residential development or housing development that was being done in our location, Engangelizwe. That was it was aimed at professionals, teachers, nurses, civil servants.
Okay.
So it was the first time I was seeing a development of that scale.
Okay.
I mean, it literally took a playing ground that we used to play and they converted into houses. So I got attracted to construction firstly.
Sure.
But also during those days, in the 80s, there wasn't much retail facilities in Mthatha. So if you had umcimbi, a big event, you would have to go to eMonti
to get stuff. Yeah.
So I realized at an early age that there's an opportunity to service underserved areas from a retail property point of view. And then all of that sort of came together when I moved to Cape Town. I moved to Cape Town around 1989 to stay with my aunt. And we stayed next to Air Kenilworth Center. And we went to Kenilworth Center a lot and also Otri Hypermarket. So the size of those buildings and the amount of feet that they attracted inspired me, because it was even more than the buildings that were in East London. So it was the biggest thing. So as I stayed there, I got inspired. I liked the industry. I mean, I remember the same thing. I used to draw the layout plans for those 2 centers.
Wow.
And imagine doing extensions and redevelopments of those centers. So a combination of construction and a realization that there was this shortage of, or not a shortage, but there were underserved areas from a retail point of view, attracted me to this industry. So after that, after finishing matric, I went to a Cape Tech and I did a diploma in civil engineering.
Okay.
And then after that, I went to UCT and I studied BSc in property studies. So in my last year of study, I was actually in the library and I was reading Business Times, the newspaper Business Day.
Yeah.
Business Day.
Yeah.
And there was this article about this company that was going to be listed on the JSE called Diversified Properties. And it happened to have a focus on building shopping centers in underserved areas. And I remember saying to myself, this is the company I want to work for. Fortunately, a few months earlier, I'd given my CV to a family friend, in fact, an uncle. He was a friend of my uncle's.
Yeah.
So he was an older uncle, call it. I'd given him a CV, and he had shown it around to a few places, and none were positive. He happened to sit on the board of Resilient.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
And I think they were looking for a young person to train at the time. So my CV found itself to the CEO's office, and we got to talk on the phone. And in June of that year, I happened to be, in fact, I had to come to Joburg. So I came to Joburg, I met with him, and that's how we secured my job for the following year to start. I think starting was 2006.
Sure.
So that's how I came to Resilient, Diversified, and Fortress.
Yeah.
So I've been around, as I said earlier on, for 20 years.
Sure. And I mean, as you're talking about this, and you said CV, you sent your CV around with no positive feedback, and then an uncle or a friend of an uncle. So there was a network. Do you think that's still relevant today? That's still valuable today to have a network to get in?
You absolutely need to have a network. Or let's put it this way. The way I think about it, you need an uncle. If you're a young person, you need an uncle. I was fortunate to have an uncle. So your question really is, us who are in senior positions now,
how do we become those uncles?
Uncles?
Yeah.
And I think that is happening. We probably need more uncles. So that, because, things have changed from when we studied.
Yeah.
There are a lot more. When we studied property studies, there were a few people. So when we finished our class, I think about 7 of us graduated. So it was easy to accommodate. We all found jobs easily. But I went to UCT a few years back just to give a talk to students there, and there were about, I think the first year class was something like 200 people. So it's grown. So we need more people to sort of help those youngsters that are coming into the market to find places.
So what would you say then? You've spoken to how you got in. Some of the big challenges, even if it's one that you encountered as a young professional.
Big challenges. Look, I'll use a silly example, but I think that it will make the point.
Yeah.
When you're coming into a place of employment, you've got no exposure to working life and the working environment.
Yes.
And I think I was one of those. I didn't have much exposure. And I remember, I said it's going to be a silly example. I remember on my first trip, we're driving to Polokwane. So I had 2 senior guys in the car with me, and we're driving. And we'd missed lunch. So we were hungry. So we stopped somewhere. These guys get to the restaurant. There's a menu. So they each ordered a burger.
Yeah.
And me at that time, I liked chicken livers. And then on this menu, there was this thing called chicken liver puree. Puree with a thing there. Yeah. So I'm thinking, okay, this is some version of a chicken liver.
Oh my goodness.
So it comes, and this thing is a spread. It's a bedspread.
And is that a main?
That is the main.
Jeez.
So there was a little bit of embarrassment out of the situation. But the 2 senior guys saw what was going on, and we managed around that. But I think the lesson for me in that scenario was that we all have different exposure. So when you're coming into the working environment. You may be starting off at a different place with someone else.
Yeah.
And that's fine. So we're all going to be embarrassed now and again. And it's part of your growth. So embrace it and face the next one.
I can imagine the drive back and how they handled it.
It was funny because I think they could see. They were like, okay, here's some chips.
Because what you have on your plate is not feeling.
It's not feeling.
So we all start anything with an idea of what it will be or what it should be. Has your idea of property evolved over the 2 decades?
My idea of property, it hasn't evolved over the two decades. Look, I've been fortunate. I think, in fact, I don't think I know. I'm blessed. God has blessed me greatly. So what I wanted to do is exactly what I'm doing. So it hasn't changed. I still think that property has got a positive future, and it's as the industry, it's done a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I start off by saying that I'm particularly interested in retail property that services underserved areas. So from where I started to where we are now, a lot of work has gone into servicing those areas.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of work has gone into developing shopping centers in townships and rural areas. I think what has maybe made property evolve a little bit is that because the economy is not growing and people's disposable incomes are under pressure, high unemployment, it has slowed the pace of that development. So if I were to think about it, I would probably say the pace of economic growth drives the pace at which we can address the problem of underserved areas from a retail property perspective.
Okay.
So I think the economy looking forward, I think it's starting to improve. In fact, a friend of mine said on the weekend that the economy is like, at the moment, it's like you're kickstarting it. It's like that cheat. What we need now is you to step on the accelerator and move. I think once that's done, or once we get economic growth, because there are still underserved areas, those areas would be attractive for investments.
Sure.
One of the retailers said to me recently that I was asking him about what they think about this store rollout. How much more will they roll out? And he said, for as long as how they think about it is that if someone has to get into a taxi or 2 taxis to get to their stores, they live in an underserved area.
Yeah.
So they must try and service them, whether it's a smaller nyana shop, whether it's a spaza shop, whatever it is, they need to find a way of getting closer to those people.
Okay. And I mean, you've answered then my next question, which was, which speaks to sustainable, and profitable and inclusivity in terms of how we develop properties. And maybe a bit more on why that is important, the difference that it actually makes. I mean, you've spoken now to someone taking 2 taxis. Of course, they're spending a lot of money.
Yeah.
You made an analogy of, having to go to East London from Mthatha, which is in 2.5 hours drive. Which is a lot of money just to shop. So if we don't do that, how does that influence, the economy that we are trying to kickstart?
It influences quite a bit because, you started off by saying what is sustainable development and inclusive. And my thought process around that is that, or at least for me, if a development improves the quality of life of a community and also delivers whatever the desired return was for the investor, that situation is a win-win. Besides getting services closer to where you live.
Sure.
Retail developments have got a greater impact in my view. And probably the biggest impact for a community from a retail development are the jobs that it creates. Because there's this rule of thumb that for every 30 square meters that you build of GLA, you create one job. So a typical Pick and Pay box or a Spar box or a ShopRite box is between 200 and 3,000 squares. So in just those stores in a shopping center, there could be 100 people employed.
Sure.
At the right skill level for those communities, because that's where you need the jobs at that skill level. So in a typical shopping center, you've got ShopRite and everyone else, let's say 20,000 square meter shopping center. You will employ 600 people as an example.
Sure.
And that's the permanent side. So pre that in the construction, there's hundreds more that could be employed.
Yeah.
So I mean, I hear a lot of people on TV talking about job creation and all those sort of things. And I then think about how important is this industry that we're working in, because retail sector is the second largest employer after government. So if you really want to absorb unemployed people at that skill level, you should promote the development of shopping centers. In fact, if I was in government or something like that, I would be saying, what incentives could we provide in underserved areas to attract property development in these areas? Because, I mean, at the moment, you would have seen that it's all about costs going up and all those sort of things. And the main driving costs for us is electricity and rates and taxes.
Yeah.
If you are a municipality in an underdeveloped area, one of the incentives could be to say, give some sort of a discount on your rates and taxes.
Yeah.
So that you promote investments in your area.
You know, as you're talking, I'm thinking about my area and what goes into...
Oh, your area is.
Yeah, in Pretoria. And what goes, behind the decision, to build a shopping, not in the underserved area, in areas that probably are overserved, or you would think. Because at some point we had a shopping mall, the Grove, a shopping center, and in my mind it's like, okay, this is close enough, because I can drive like 10 minutes and I'm there. And then a shopping center came up at a corner of Linwood and Linton's Corner.
Yeah,
and I'm thinking, do we really have that big of a market? But Linton's Corner is busy.
Yeah,
and actually, I stopped going to the Grove. Well, mostly. And now to Linton's Corner, but I didn't see it as a need because the Grove was not a problem.
Sure.
So what goes into that, the mentality of actually giving people what they don't even know they need?
So, I mean, there's a lot of research that one does, but maybe to answer your point directly, yes, your area may be growing in terms of shopping centers, but you must also think that since you moved in there, there's been a lot more residential development. So urbanization is a real thing. So there's a lot more people that are coming into our spaces, particularly the serviced areas, because people are moving from underserved areas to the serviced areas. So population growth has become a big thing. In fact, you're talking about serviced areas. I mean, every time I go to Mthatha and you're flying in or you're driving through, you notice that those areas, you can point it at a field that used to be empty. It's now got houses. There's been an incredible population growth in South Africa probably over the last 20 years. And all those people need to be serviced.
Okay. So when we talk about transformation, what do you think needs to change? Probably in terms of mindset, in terms of policy, or even to push the trajectory of the transformation agenda?
Just what needs to change? I think that we need to have a positive mindset towards transformation. Well, let me rephrase. We need to maintain a positive mindset. We also need to maintain positive buy-in in the transformation agenda. I use the word maintain rather than have. I think it's there, but it needs to be maintained.
Yeah, like having 5 uncles, maybe to 500, 100%, because
100%. I think that transformation is positive for business. Because when I think about it, or at least my experience is that a transformed and inclusive society builds a market for business. So if you look at my industry, retail property, during the 2000s, there was growth in the black middle class. Now, that growth in the black middle class was because apartheid had ended. So we were becoming a more inclusive society. But there were also policies like affirmative action and BEE being introduced that were making black people a bit more wealthy, particularly the black middle class. Now that grew the market for business. I mean, you had businesses, I remember this because I was still at UCT at the time, you got Prof. Simpson writing about the black diamonds and all those sort of things. And you had all these brands wanting to target black people.
The black diamonds.
So in my view, transformation was positive for business. It's still positive for business. So I think we need to have that positive mindset and we need to have that education to say, actually, this thing is not negative. I mean, recently, some people are saying that BEE is preventing investment. My lived experience is that, again, in the 2000s, where BEE deals and affirmative actions were at their highest, property investments in South Africa was also at its highest. So BEE did not prevent investments in property.
It propelled it.
It propelled it. What decreased investment was actually the low growth economy. And I think we must diagnose what's that word? Diagnose that problem correctly and say we have got a problem with economic growth and not use BEE and all this other stuff
as the
excuse
reason
or the scapegoat. So I think there's a level that we need to maintain that positive mindset. We need to maintain buy-in and we need to, where you've got statements that come in the media about transformation that maybe are not correct. We need to correct those statements because I find that they linger on in the media without anyone correcting them. That's what we need to do.
Sure. I mean, I think, silly maths, I would imagine that having 10 people as opposed to 2
absolutely
that are economically viable is just good for the economy.
Yeah.
Because you've got more money going around.
Absolutely.
All right. So from your perspective then, within your team, in your business, how do you drive empowerment?
In my team. So I sit on the social and ethics committee in our company.
Yeah.
And that does the decision making and I'm involved in implementing some of the projects. And I think we've done a lot of projects, various projects, over the last years since we started as a company.
Yeah.
I mean, we've looked at, we do focus on empowering communities and also empowering on the ownership side. So on the ownership side, we've had 2 empowerment deals, one around 2009, 2010, somewhere around there. And then more recently, we initiated one, I think 2018, and that matured early last year. Both of these were successful and they created wealth. From a community point of view, we focus on skills development. We focus on just general community development. So as an example, community development, I mentioned that shopping centers create jobs, so we invest in those areas. I also won't touch much on that. But we also support charitable organizations that are in the areas where we operate. What we are also looking at the moment, in fact, we've done it before, but we trying to accelerate it, is on the micro and small businesses. We support them, but a project that I'm a little bit more passionate about because it's in the retail sector is informal traders and integrating them into the shopping environment. So 30% of the people who shop at our shopping centers also buy from informal traders. So wherever we've got an opportunity, we build structures, provide services for people who are active in that space. So we're doing quite a lot of that work at the moment. But we also on skills, something that I'm also quite passionate about. So at the moment, we're sponsoring about 53 students, university students, bursaries. And then we started an intern program 3 years ago. And the reason we started it was because I saw that at that time, you had all these university students coming out, but the absorption, the industry wasn't absorbing as much as we could because the economy is not growing, so business is not growing. So we thought, how do you absorb some of the students? So we created this internship program. We've got about 31 at the moment. So we run it over 2 years, and we work with our partners, property managers and other partners as well. But what we found out of that, it's successful because all the students who have gone through it, most have been absorbed into the industry. So it almost gives you a little bit of a step before you get, and then you don't get those questions about experience.
When you are applying to get it.
So I think it's a good stopgap, and we'll carry on doing that. But there's a lot of other things. I mean, I think we've got about 1,500 at school level learners that we're supporting. So there's quite a bit. There's the lady in the office, Jody Dreya. She runs a program, and she is a rock star.
Okay. What advice would you give to young Black professionals starting out, outside of the fact that they need to find an uncle? I'm thinking Bob's your uncle. They need to find a Bob. And maybe how? Do they go about doing that? So any young professional who's starting out, is there one advice that you would give them?
Just the one advice I would give them is the same advice that a lecturer of mine gave me. And he said that, look, property is a small industry. So your name is gold. I think that's probably the advice I'd give them. But talking about another advice, you're talking about uncles. You need to get out there and make yourself known and start with family members or someone in your family members or
knows
someone. So you need to get out there and be known. My uncle used to say, Ubondweba.
In the workplace, that's important.
100%. I don't know what undweba is in English. It must be...
Jeez.
You must be pop. You must...
Pop. I like it.
You must be not forward, but you mustn't be shy to talk about yourself.
Yeah.
So I think...
Put your best foot forward.
Put your best... 100%.
Make yourself seen.
Correct. And you start that with people that you know. As in my case, it was someone that is known to my family.
Yeah.
Those are probably the people who will advocate for you the most.
Yeah.
You can't walk up to a Vuso on the street just... Vuso will advocate for a lot of people and you might not be the focus, but if it's someone who knows you from when you were growing up, that's probably the place to start.
And when you're talking about, how small this industry is, I think that's important for young professionals because honestly, you will be in one employ and the next, and everyone knows everyone else.
100%.
So what you did there will follow you.
Yes.
So your name must be gold is very good advice.
Yeah. No,
because you can really burn your career before you even start.
Absolutely.
When we look globally, are the trends that you think South Africa can borrow from?
From what perspective? From a transformation perspective?
I think just property, maybe in retail. Are there any...
the trends overseas, I think that South Africa is head on with the rest of the world.
Wow.
And I always... I think because, if you go to places like America, it's a mature, that's where the shopping center started, etc., etc.
Sure.
So they were the first, they were the guinea pigs. I think we came later on and we learned from some of their mistakes. And if you look at it now, I've heard that there are many dead malls in America. In South Africa, although there are these talks of oversupply, which I don't agree with, but the evidence is that we don't have as many dead malls. In fact, we've probably got a handful of dead malls in South Africa.
Than what you will see in other countries.
That you see in other countries. So I think we're quite up there with the trends. Everyone at the moment is talking about convenience. And the convenience open strip malls are the ones that are being developed currently. So I think in terms of trends, we really are there. Obviously, more focused on things that are unique to South Africa. So I think we're there.
Okay. As you mentioned that UK, Sugemtata, I actually thought there are few people like in this small industry who are here in Joburg who also, come from Mtata, myself included. And this took me back to a conversation I had with one of the leaders in the Eastern Cape.
Sure.
Saying, Kululwa, you guys must come back home and invest, in the Eastern Cape.
Invest in the Eastern Cape.
How would you respond to that?
It's so I've been thinking, over December, I was watching a lot of podcasts.
Yeah.
And Prince Mashele says something, because I was thinking about transformation and all those sort of things.
Yeah.
And Prince says something that, as Black people, we need to focus on two things. One is education. Two is building institutions. So I got to think, Uguti, Zindoni institutions that are traditionally for Black people. Obviously, schools are there, churches, soccer clubs, and all those sort of things.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, as a young professional, how much have I personally given back to the school that I went to, the Lokshi Mthatha? And I happened to, because I told you I grew up at Kapa as well. So in December, I happened to go to the church that we used to go to, Enyanga. And I thought to myself, wow, it's degraded a little bit. And I thought to myself, Vuso, have you given? I have not.
To the structures that built
to the
you up.
structure that built me up. So I think, and there's many people have many reasons.
Yeah.
And I think the bulk of it is that for most people is that we have, we have all been working to try and build something, or we are all working to try and build something. And we have not thought of our other responsibility.
Sure.
And that's something that we need to start doing. Look, Mthatha, I do, there's personally, there's a children's home that I support, a quiz. So whenever I've got some stuff, I do that. But I have never done that to my school. Now, if you think about school, school is probably will have the biggest impact on developing people. So I think we need to think around that to say, how do we support the institutions that supported us? Whether it's a soccer club or whatever, but you need to support institutions back in the places where we come from.
Okay.
So we don't necessarily need to go back to the Eastern Cape.
Yeah.
And maybe, look, a lot will have to change in the Eastern Cape for people to do that. And most of it revolves around the political situation. I think the people that are in leadership in the Eastern Cape would probably have to go before people go back
to the Eastern
Cape. But the little that we can do for ourselves is to support
from here
those existing structures. Not necessarily money support. Time. So make time to go and make time to find other alumni to build this thing.
Yeah. Man, I can't even remember. I mean, I don't even drive in the route of my high school.
What was your high school?
Ngangelizi.
Oh, up the road.
Yeah, just up the road from you. I have not even driven in that route because my route going home doesn't take me that way.
Yes.
Yeah, never thought of that. We live in a GNU era.
Yeah.
Are there any lessons that you think the sector could glean from it?
I think there are lessons that the GNU can learn from the sector.
Ah, love that. Okay.
For us during COVID, we had to work together.
Yeah.
And I say us, I'm talking about mostly landlords, tenants, but also other stakeholders, because everyone was in trouble. We all had to make deals that worked for the industry or kept the industry going. And yes, there was some friction, etc. But I think in that process, we learned that we are all in this together. And I think the people in the GNU must realize that these frictions that they are having, that we are seeing on TV,
are not serving anyone.
And the sooner we learn that, the better. So that's my thought about the GNU.
And actually, we are not in different teams. We are in Team South Africa.
We are in Team South Africa. If we go, if it's going down, we're going down together.
Yeah.
But it's not gonna go down. I was actually happy with the formation of the GNU. I'm happy with the idea of the GNU. I just think that we need political maturity.
What are some of the gaps that you observe within the industry that you think create opportunities for startup entrepreneurs or even, young professionals starting out to build their careers?
From careers or business?
Career or business.
When we're talking earlier on, we're talking about this studio.
Yeah.
That everyone is now on TikTok. Everyone is doing these conversations, podcasts, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And imagine if you created a studio somewhere in the locations. How much more content would you get from the locations, from the rural areas, etc., etc. So I think for a young person wanting to get into a property industry, something like this is a good way to start. The other thing that you go to a location, when you go to these malls and rural areas, there has been a good response to solving the problem, not solving the problem, but to building backroom accommodation. And I think a lot of people have benefited from that. But you'll get areas where on the main road in a township, you'll see guys on the side of the road that change tires. There's tire fitment guys on the side of the road, guys that are selling doors, gates, etc. Those guys need accommodation. So I think there's an opportunity because almost every township I go to, you see these guys on the side of the road. There's an opportunity for smaller property developers to start accommodating. In fact, I was Kwamhlanga the other day and I saw a Dunlop fitment center that was done, but you can see it's done auction style and it works. And funny enough, someone else on that day was saying they wanted to develop something similar. So I think there are those opportunities. I think as we know that there are still underserved areas. Now, if you live in a location or a rural area, at some point, someone's going to be attracted to open a shop there. So go secure a piece of land in a good area and start finding out how you can go about approaching property companies. Maybe there might be some interest.
Okay. So as we close, there's a question that came from the last guest that we hosted.
Okay.
It reads as follows. From your perspective, what single fundamental high impact change should senior and influential leaders in the property industry champion to unlock sustainable long-term critical change in South Africa? And where should this intervention begin? What single fundamental high-impact change should be driven by, senior leaders in the sector to unlock sustainable long-term critical change? And where should it begin?
This is where I lose guests.
Come on.
My in South Africa, economic growth, social growth is trumped by politics. You need to fix the politics, in my experience. And the problem I have with us is that we are not active. We are not active citizens, and we're not involved at a political level. We're not at the branch level. And that's where real change will come. If you bring all of us that are sitting
in
if offices, if we are active in politics, I think the country will be better. Widely from a number of so I think professionals need to be involved in politics. I think for far too long we've delegated that responsibility to people who should not occupy such offices. So I told you, this is where I lose. This is where people are gonna drop off and go
shut down. What is he saying?
That's it. If you want change in South Africa,
you have to change.
Politics trumps the economy and any other thing in South Africa. You need to be involved at a political level.
Yeah. Okay. And I mean, now that you think about it, a lot of the conversations, well, let's talk about the commission, right? Yeah. That commission. There's a lot of political, mesh up to everything that is coming out, in that commission. 100%. So, yeah. Well, there you have it. That was a great conversation. I enjoyed it, and I hope that you did. Do like, subscribe, and follow our channel, and continue to learn with us. Thank you for your time.
No, thank you. It was actually great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you very much.